Good evening, Mayor. How are you doing?
I'm great, Erica. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Tell us who you are for
I'm
the people
Alvin
that don't
Parks,
know.
Mayor of the City of East St. Louis, and here humbly and respectfully requesting your vote for mayor. I'd like to share just a little bit with you about what actually is taking place with regard to the controversy about the ballot and will I be on it or not, and take you back a couple months. The City of East St. Louis has an election that's coming up on Tuesday, April the 7th. The East St. Louis Board of Elections ruled on December the 10th that I would be on the ballot as a fully fledged candidate to run for mayor. They challenged it. We went back to court on January the 12th. The circuit court decided I would be on the ballot. But then they took it a step further. They went to the appellate court in Mount Vernon, which actually handles jurisdiction for about 37 counties within the state of Illinois, the 37 southernmost counties. They determined also that I would be on the ballot. However, they got encouragement to actually take it to the Illinois Supreme Court. The Illinois Supreme Court overruled what had taken place with the appellate court, the circuit court, as well as with the East St. Louis Board of Election Commissioners, and decided to remove my name from the ballot. When they did that on March the 16th, which is just 5 days ago, they were ruling at that point that not only would my name be removed from the ballot, but that any votes that had been cast for Alvin Parks by way of absentee and early votes would actually be nullified and those votes would not be able to count. The State Board of Elections understood the severity of doing that, and even though they could not reinstate those votes for Alvin Parks, they did come up with a remedy that made it fair and equitable across the board, which is to simply reissue ballots to everyone who had either received a ballot and voted, or had received a ballot, or was about to receive a ballot. Anyone who had actually applied for an absentee application would be receiving a new opportunity to vote. Whether that's voting for one of my competitors or voting for me, they would have another opportunity to vote. What is happening now is that one of my competitors is actually seeking to take that remedy away and make sure that anyone who voted has no opportunity to receive another ballot. Now, we understand that several people have voted, and those individuals that voted for me would not have another opportunity to vote, therefore taking away the votes that they've actually cast, giving them no opportunity to have a say on the mayor's vote. That is completely unfair. It's called disenfranchisement. It's called taxation without representation. It is called voter suppressionism. This is taking us back to the days when blacks could not vote or when women could not vote simply because they were not of the right classification of people. That is not something we need to go back to. This is about something much bigger than being the mayor of East St. Louis. This is about democracy in America. People who live in the United States of America believe in the one vote, one person system. This is not to say that if you voted for a certain candidate, you can't vote. Or if you're black, you can't vote. Or if you're a woman, you can't vote. This is to make sure that everyone understands in America we have democracy. We certainly hope that the judges rule on Monday that we can continue moving on with the election by issuing the ballots that have already been printed by the East St. Louis Board of Elections that are ready for distribution and ready to be voted. And when we do vote, our team is recommending that you support the team that is led by me, Alvin Parks, and with my voting, you actually have to cast the ballot by way of a write-in, meaning that you go to the field of city mayor, you look for the write-in line, and you fill in the oval and print the name Alvin Parks. Again, fill in the oval and print the name Alvin Parks, and then continue by supporting Joe Lewis for City Treasurer, Latoya Greenwood and Roy Mosley for City Council. You support Michelle Patterson and Willie Lavelle Dancy for the Park District. And you continue with our school board candidates, Irma Galladay, R.C. Clark, and Rodney Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your time. God bless you.